The top TikTok account, the top person on the app, the one to follow is Khaby Lame with 152.4 million followers at this time, and he's only 22 years old. His content type revolves around comedy, kind of like slapstick style of comedy. Now, Khaby Lame's success is an interesting one. Obviously, he has made it big on TikTok. This is what this video is about, but at this point, and by judging by the last 4 TikTokers, not to mention if you look at like the top 10, the top 50 or the top 100, you get a good idea of the kind of content which makes it big on TikTok. The kind of people that find this huge success. But Khaby is different. For starters, 90% of these TikTokers and all the previous ones are either from America or live in America. Khaby is from Senegal and lives in Italy. He doesn't dance. He doesn't even talk. Talking is a big thing. On TikTok, you only have a short time to make an impression. All the advice on what we have seen works is talk, make an impression, move your body, dance. Khaby is completely silent. No lip syncing either, no dancing. Just as I mentioned, he's just him and his comedy. Completely silent. And yet, he's the most followed TikToker of all time. He's the biggest on the app, the most successful person on the app. So let's run through this, his early life, how he started on TikTok and how he generated such wealth for himself. Khaby was born in Senegal on the 9th of March 2000. His family moved to public housing complex in Italy when he was 1 year old, and he worked as a CNC machine operator at a factory before getting laid off in March 2020. He rose to popularity with his video responses in the form of TikTok duets and stitches. These videos featured him depicting complicated life hacks in which he performs the same task in a simple way without saying anything, followed by his trademark hand gesture. When Lame had built up a following of 100,000 on the platform, he began to pursue an agent. He told a reporter for Forbes that he was watching footballers play video games on Twitch when he started bombarding the chat with messages for Alessandro Riggio, founder of talent agency The Iron. In April 2021, he became the most followed Italian on TikTok, and then in July 2021, he surpassed Addison Rae to become the second most followed personality overall. In January 2022, Lame signed a multi-year partnership with Hugo Boss and was featured in the hashtag Be Your Own Boss campaign, which he reportedly earned $450,000 for. On June 2022, Lame became TikTok's most followed creator, surpassing Charlie. It's very difficult to find a reliable source on his income, but there has been mention that he earns about $750,000 per sponsored TikTok video and makes an estimated $1 million per month, with a network of $12 to $13 million. As for how he became so successful, I'd account it to a few things. For starters, not speaking is a great way to connect to a large audience. Whether you're English, Spanish, Chinese or Italian, whatever language you speak, it does not matter. You can understand him because he doesn't speak. His style of comedy is also pretty universal. It's not like British comedy that's only really understood by the British. You can understand his style whatever culture you live in. It just makes sense. It's simple comedy. Those facts alone mean he has a bigger pool of people to follow him. Charlie is pretty much targeting people her age, young people. Bella Porch is targeting teenage boys. Addison Rae is targeting young people. Zach King targets a larger audience, people from 8 to 80, but a lot of what he does is difficult to understand universally. For Khaby, you could be an 8-year-old English boy or an 80-year-old Japanese woman and you can still enjoy the content. It's that Charlie Chaplin style of humour, the old school silent movie slapstick comedy but modernised. And staying humble whilst keeping himself out of scandals has only increased his likability, especially with potential brands and sponsorships. And the truly impressive thing that I just touched on is that he's done all this with barely receiving any criticism, being caught up in scandals or any controversy. Amazing. He seems to live a pretty private life. He's engaged, and despite coming from not so much and now having more than a lot of people will ever have, he seems to be very humble about it.